Now guys, we're done with joint products, byproducts also. The next topic guys that we have is service sector costing guys. हाँ हो जाते बेटा, क्या कर सकते हैं, सिलेबस है, खत्म करना ही पड़ता ना. आप हो गए मतलब. Service sector costing guys, the next chapter, operating costing. Is anyone still doing the previous one? थोड़ा ध्यान दे देना बेटा, ताकि वो क्या होता ना, स्टार्टिंग में जब टॉपिक डिस्कस होता तब अपन ध्यान नहीं देते, फिर सडन में बाद में रियलाइज होता है अरे ये टॉपिक खत्म होने पे आ गया क्या बोल के. करेक्ट बेटा पाटिल. And guys, see, I start the class at 7. I start off the explanation also at 7. ठीक है बेटा नबील. It's not like I'll wait. नबील आएगा शायद बोल के 7:15 तक, 7:20 तक. Now, Nabil, will you tell us how different is service sector costing from the other costing areas? It is not based on physical units. One of the key differences between manufacturing sector and service sector is that manufacturing sector will have an output as such beta that is physically measurable. Correct beta. Anything else? Rudraksh, any other difference beta? No other difference. हो गया बेटा चैप्टर, घर जाओ, खत्म हो गया. हाँ. Anyone who wants to answer guys? Harshit. उसको मत पूछ बेटा, रॉन्ग नंबर. You want to answer Purab? Yes beta. It's okay beta. No one's sure about anything. People are not sure about their life partners bloody. Do you think you will be sure about the service sector costing? हाँ बोल. Good beta that you're not sure about it. Yes guys. Yes beta Ayush. Creating a relation between input and output will be hard. Not so difficult beta. Why will it be hard? If I ask you to solve a question, won't I have a standard time in mind? Will I be able to fix a standard relation between the amount of input that was required and the output that is supposed to be arrived at? Yes or no? There will definitely be a relation between input and output guys. It's not like cost cannot be measured. It's not a discretionary cost center. It is still going to be a standard cost center. Types of responsibility centers, cost centers. Yes beta Srinivas. There can be a relation between the production departments and guys, first thing beta, when I say service sector costing as such guys, I'm not talking about support departments in overheads chapter. I am talking about industries that are engaged in rendering services. So they may not have any production department because they do not manufacture. Guys, why don't you fill ATF in your vehicle? Because I don't own an aircraft. That's not the answer, no guys. Wage allocation cannot be on the basis of number of units. Perfect. So, why is it difficult? Or why is it different? It will not be on the basis of number of units because it is not manufacturing something guys. It obviously will be on the basis of work that is being performed because they are performing work. Param. अरे సిగ్గులేని గాడిద చూస్తున్నా నేను ఇక్కడి నుంచి ఇక్కడ చూసి చెప్పంట ఇక్కడ ఉంది చూడు शक्ल से बोला है ये ऋषिकेश guys everyone is listening huh Bhumika says there will not be any inventory huh most of the expenses will be nahi beta there will be direct expenses but expenses will not be the major component of your expenditure will not be material it will be labor for a majority of the service. All right guys, when you say service sector as such guys, we are talking about industries that are involved in the business of rendering services. Huh? IT, yes but it can be IT sector guys, or it can be transportation business guys, it can be education sector, it can be financial institutions guys, it can फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस बेटा एनबीए अभी एक एक नाम लेंगे चलो बेटा स्टार्ट करेंगे मन्नपुरम फाइनेंस मुथूट फाइनेंस बजाज फाइनेंस एक एक का नाम लेंगे अभी so there can be multiple industries as such beta that are engaged in the business of rendering services majority of the questions that come in the examination for us would be related to transportation business or it will be related to hotels or hospitals. These are the usual industries as such beta that they cover. They have a list of multiple industries as such guys. We're going to solve questions on all of those industries here. But the primary difference guys between manufacturing sector and service sector is of course inventory. Under manufacturing sector, because you are manufacturing a product as such beta, the amount of money that you are spending will be on a resource that can be stored. Under service sector as such guys, you will not have any inventory that can be stored. There can definitely be inventory as such beta where a service is still under process, but it is not something as such beta that can be stored. It's like if employee is rendering a service as such guys, you cannot have that being carried forward. He's rendering service on something. Are we clear about it? The next major point as such beta is the nature of expenditure. For manufacturing sector as such beta, a major chunk of expenditure will be in the form of material expenditure. Correct beta Mahati? For manufacturing sector, what will be a major chunk of expenditure? हाँ बेटा let's continue guys. So for manufacturing sector, major chunk of expenditure will be in the form of material. The other expenses guys that are incurred guys, I'm not telling you will not be significant, but they will be lesser in comparison to material. Any product that you manufacture guys, most likely material expenditure will be more than 60% of the final product cost. Okay, unless the product better works on premiumization where the material content is very less as such guys, but then they're incurring huge chunk of guys selling and distribution expenditure to sell the product at a higher price. Are we clear? Just there are certain education institutions in India as such beta, for them the cost as such guys in respect of each student as such beta application, I was just understanding the finances, is about 40% of the amount of revenue. So if they're selling a course for rupees 1 lakh as such guys, they incur approximately 40,000 rupees only on advertisements and marketing expenditure. They say that it is just the more amount you spend on marketing, the more the number of students. So first, manufacturing sector ke liye beta it is material. For service sector as such guys, usually it will be labor cost. It also depends on the industry as such guys. For a majority service driven industries, it will be employee cost. Just say you talk about IT sector as such beta, about 60% of their overall cost is only employee cost. Overall cost ka beta 60% will be your employee cost. But the proportion as such beta would differ when you talk about an aircraft, matlab airline industry guys, or you talk about a hotel industry. For a hotel industry as such guys, depreciation or the amount of rentals as such guys will be a huge chunk of expenditure. Undoubtedly there are huge amount of salaries also. A normal resort as such guys that is running with a room of say 100 rooms as such guys might have a monthly recurring expenditure of 1 crore rupees. That includes their electricity payments, that includes the amount of salaries that they're paying as such beta and all the other regular expenses. This is apart from the depreciation component. For a hospital again as such guys, it is the salaries that are payable to doctors and the amount of depreciation that is a major chunk of expenditure. So it is not material, it is other. Next, the major another difference guys between service sector as such beta and manufacturing sector is the cost unit. Are we all aware of cost unit? Cost unit is a unit of measurement, guys, of how you express your cost. In the first class, I told you that we can segregate cost units, guys, into simple cost units and composite cost units. What's a simple cost unit and a composite cost unit, beta Varsha? Anil? Flask unto simple cost unit, guys, is a single. If you have only one unit of measurement, guys, it's a simple cost unit. If you have a combination of two or more cost units, it's a composite cost unit. Majority of the service industries as such, guys, will have a composite cost unit, will not have a simple cost unit. If you talk about transportation business, I gave these examples in the beginning also, guys. If you are into logistics business, beta, it will be volumetric weight. We will not take volumetric weight into consideration. We will only take weight and distance into consideration. They will measure cost not just in respect of the distance, guys. They will also measure cost in respect of the total weight and reality beta volume also. I gave you an example of thermocol. Yaad hai? I said just because they are levying charges on the basis of weight and the distance, guys, that does not mean we transport thermocol from one place to another place. Yes or no, guys? समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ, guys? So that is why beta most likely it will be a composite cost unit and not a simple cost unit. Passenger transportation agar hai, what do you think will be the cost unit, guys? Per passenger per kilometer. If you talk about a hotel, guys, room stay, accommodation, kya rahega? The cost beta will be per room per day. They will also have an additional cost of per person per day. In reality, when a hotel is computing expenditure as such, beta, they will see that it is based on a normal occupancy of 2 people, that they compute all of their expenses. But if there's an additional person that is being accommodated as such, beta, they will obviously charge a certain amount of money because they have to recover their food expenditure, guys, and the other normal consumables that are going to be incurred. Are we clear? जैसे बेटा again power industry अगर है क्या रहेगा बेटा? Per kilowatt hour. It is per kilowatt per hour. Are we clear? 1 second. Any doubt in this, guys? 1 second. So, are we all clear about these differences? Any doubt in this part, guys? They've given us beta that application of service sector costing can either be for the purpose of internal usage or for external. Internal का मतलब होता है बेटा that you have a service that is being rendered internally for your own consumption. Bigger manufacturing units have their own power plants. So I was talking about cement industries as such, beta, they have their own power plants. Few of them are also now buying coal mines as such, guys, so that they have a ready supply of coal and that does not affect their pricing. So यहाँ पे जो power का cost computation रहेगा, guys, will that be for internal usage or is it for external sales? Thank you. It will be for the purpose of internal usage. Sorry. It will be for the purpose of internal usage, guys, not for external usage. That is जैसे power consumption. Also beta, can a transportation industry have their own internal maintenance team? Obviously they will not rely on external service, guys. They can have their oन internal maintenance. पूरा का पूरा service center खोल के बैठेंगे बेटा अपने organization में. You're talking about a company that can have a fleet of 1,000 vehicles. Instead of outsourcing this as beta to an external company, many organizations would prefer having an own service center in the organization itself where their own vehicles are regularly serviced. The expenses that you're incurring in respect of service, guys, again, internal or external? Internal. Can companies better have their own IT department? Yes. If organizations better have their own IT department as such, better the cost of those services that are being rendered as such, guys, again will be for internal usage. Are we clear about this? Correct, beta? External services, जो भी इसके पहले के examples या बेटा, that all of that will be for external usage. ठीक है? So why are we learning this as a separate chapter? The reason is very simple. Nature of expenditure, different cost units. Correct beta for us? cost unit differs for a manufacturing sector and for a service sector. For a manufacturing sector, you will only have a simple cost unit. For a service sector, you will usually have a composite cost unit. The nature of expenditure as such beta would be different. That's the only reason why service sector costing beta is being learned as a separate chapter. Cost लिखना बेटा बड़ी बात नहीं है. Writing down a list of all the expenses is going to be very simple, guys. You just have to sum up all the expenses. Major things revolve around computing the total amount of cost unit. Just if it is ton kilometers, how are you going to arrive at the total number of ton kilometers? If it is passenger kilometers, how are you going to compute the total number of passenger kilometers? वो बोलेगा destination A to B you're carrying 10 tons, destination B to C you're carrying only 8 tons, उसके आगे you're carrying 6 tons, उसके आगे you're carrying 4 tons. Then again you load your vehicle beta with 12 tons. So majority of the questions are such beta, the important part will be to compute your cost unit. Other things as such guys are going to be pretty simple. Are we clear about this? Under this cost unit guys, we have two things, something called as a simple cost unit and a composite cost unit. वो बोल दिया ना, sorry. We have absolute and commercial. Absolute and commercial beta. Let's say to understand this, from destination, पहले ये सबको पता है ना, if you carry 1 ton for a distance of 200 kilometers, we write it as what? 200 ton kilometers. Carrying 1 ton for a distance of 200 kilometers beta is exactly the same as 200 ton kilometers. 20 persons के साथ beta working for 100 hours is 2000 man hours or labor hours. Even labor hours as such guys is a composite cost unit. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? If you're carrying 3 tons as such guys for a distance of 400 kilometers, that will be 1200 ton kilometers. Is that clear? One student traveling in metro as such beta for a distance of 20 kilometers, it will be 120 passenger kilometers. All right. What if there are 10 passengers as such guys traveling for a distance of 30 kilometers? 300 passenger kilometers. Now, let's say guys from destination A to destination B guys, the total tonnage that you were carrying as such beta was about 20. The total distance that you have covered guys from A to B is about 200 kilometers. From B to C as such beta, let's say that you have carried a tonnage of, सुन रहा है बेटा चिराग? 10 tons guys, and let's say that beta that you've covered a distance of 300 kilometers. From C to A guys, you've carried a tonnage of 5 and you have covered a distance of 450 kilometers. If you were to arrive at the total number of ton kilometers guys, what you just did, you have multiplied number of tons with the total number of kilometers. First case में it is 4000, next it is 3000, next it is all put together, but that will be 9250 ton kilometers. Yes or no? Commercial ton kilometers guys is simple average tonnage multiplied by the total distance traveled. You will not get it as 9250 guys. Simple average of tonnage multiplied by total distance traveled. Different story. We do not normally use commercial ton kilometers or such beta. Simple average of tonnage कैसे हो जाएगा? It will be 20 plus 10 plus 5 divided by 3 multiplied by a total distance of 950 kilometers. समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? कितना आंसर? 11,000. This will be the total number of ton kilometers. Simple average. Absolute beta would be weighted average tonnage. There can be a question only on computing this. Multiplied by total distance traveled. अब ये weighted average tonnage में बेटा weights रहना चाहिए. The weights will be the respective distance traveled. We are still computing average of tonnage, but to compute that average of tonnage, the weights that we'll consider beta is the distance traveled. So I'll write 20 multiplied by 200 kilometers plus, you know how to compute weighted average? Next beta 10 multiplied by 300. Next 5 multiplied by 450. All of that will be divided by total distance traveled. This multiplied by 950. I can strike 950 and 950, guys. What you compute by directly multiplying total number of tons with the total number of kilometers is nothing but absolute ton kilometers. And unless otherwise given in every question as such beta, we are going to use absolute ton kilometers only. We are not going to use commercial ton kilometers. There can be standalone questions as such guys that will ask us to compute commercial ton kilometers. जैसे एक बार MCQ में दे दिया था वो, he has asked us to identify what are the number of absolute ton kilometers and commercial ton kilometers. दोनों का डिफरेंस समझ में आया? Commercial is simple average beta, absolute is weighted average ton kilometer. It can be for anything. ये example was based on ton kilometers. I can also have commercial beta for passenger kilometers. I can have it for any other variable. Usually they will give only for ton kilometers and passenger kilometers. समझ में आया नहीं आया? Yes or no? All of these concepts comes only for a composite cost unit, not for a simple cost unit. So again, why are we learning this as a separate chapter beta? Daksh nahi, Yash. Why service sector? How is service sector different from manufacturing sector? The major chunk of expenditure in a manufacturing business will be material guys. The major chunk of expenditure in a service sector beta can be labor, or it can be depreciation or rentals. Next. हो गया, अभी बोला मैं क्या पागल हो क्या? बीकॉम का आंसर लिख रहा क्या? Imagine guys, you're writing material is a major chunk of expenditure in manufacturing sector. फिर service sector के नीचे material is not a major chunk of expenditure. फिर यहाँ पे लिखते हैं employee cost is not a major chunk of expenditure. फिर यहाँ पे लिखते हैं employee cost is a major chunk of expenditure. फिर और एक sentence भी ऐड करते हैं total will still be significant under both of them. Service sector has 7 letters. Manufacturing वो भी लिख सकते हैं ना? बीकॉम में वैसा भी लिखता तू. Yes kids, सबको समझ में आया बेटा? I repeat, it is not writing down the list of all the expenses guys, that is so important. It is calculation of the cost unit. The way we are going to write cost statement will differ guys. जैसे transportation sector में it is mandatory that we divide our cost statement into 3 categories. We will have to write variable expenses, fixed expenses and semi-variable expenses. Running charges, standing charges and semi-variable. Mandatory है, option ही नहीं है. For other sectors as such guys, they will not do that. जैसे होटल इंडस्ट्री के लिए कोई करने की जरूरत नहीं है, एजुकेशन सेक्टर के लिए करने की जरूरत नहीं है. I'll tell you that as and when we do those respective industries guys. Are you all clear about this basic aspect first? Right on beta heading. Service sector costing brackets में operating costing. अभी बेटा कभी कभी he will tell you that you're traveling from destination A to destination B guys and you return empty. So for computation of total distance traveled guys, I will have to take 2 ways. But for computation of distance, number of ton kilometers guys, you will only have to take 1 way. Let's say beta that the total distance between point A to point B guys is 300 kilometers. A to B. Question says guys that for your onward journey as such beta, you are carrying a tonnage of 10 tons. 10 tons were carried. Return empty hai. Are we clear? Return is empty. Now when you compute guys, there will be a lot of expenses which will be computed on the basis of total distance traveled, like petrol guys and your other oil consumables. So when you talk about distance traveled, it has to be 2 ways. गाड़ी वहाँ पे छोड़ के नहीं आओगे. Yes or no guys? So it will be 300 kilometers guys multiplied by 2 ways. That will be 600 kilometers. But when I talk about total number of ton kilometers guys, it will only be, so for the onward journey guys, it is 300 tons, 300 kilometers beta into 10 tons. For the return journey, it is 300 kilometers into 0 tons. It is not that you're not considering it, guys, but on your return journey, the tonnage is 0. That is why you'll have to end up multiplying by 0. So my total number of ton kilometers will become 3000 ton kilometers. So on page number 9.2, guys, there are few industries given, service industries and their respective cost units. The first industry beta there is transportation business. They say it is either passenger kilometer, guys, or it is ton kilometers. Goods carriage agar hai to beta it will be ton kilometers, otherwise guys it is going to be passenger kilometers. For electricity supply, guys, I already told you it will be per kilowatt per hour. That is why they measure it in kilowatt hours. We have learned this, guys, in overheads chapter also. I said if they give in kilowatt hours, that means they've already multiplied capacity by the number of machine hours. And then beta hospital, it says it is per patient per day, or it can be per room per day, or it can be per bed, or it can be per operation. They will have different cost measurements, guys. Don't you think a hospital will obviously have the cost of the operation already being calculated, guys? Yes or no, guys? समझ में आ रहा क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? Next beta is canteen. It can be per item or it can be per meal. Cinema में per ticket. Hotels में beta per room per day. Bank में it can be different types of services. Educational institution में per course, per student, per batch, guys. IT industry में cost per project. Insurance में per policy, per claim. You do not have to remember a detailed list, but few of them, guys, can come in the examination. Those few cost units that come in the examination is usually from chapter 1, which we are going to do in the end. I told you better that will be covering different types of industries and their respective cost units. So तुमको automatic आ जाता once we are done with all of these chapters. Now, they've given us a list of KPIs, guys, in this chapter, which is not relevant actually. God alone knows why did they include KPIs and CSF or KSF. What do you learn in strategic management these days as critical success factors? को तुम लोग KSF पढ़ते हो या CSF? KSF only. SM में है या नहीं आया अभी? So critical success factor, guys, is basically a factor that determines better success for an organization. If an organization has to be successful, what are they supposed to measure? That is critical success factor. Let's say for a lot of airline industries as such, guys, CSF, critical success factor as such, guys, would be the cost of operating the service and plus on time departure, guys, on time arrival. They track that the most. That is where beta Indigo used to rank first as such beta in terms of that. So for that as such, guys, there will be a key performance indicator. You know what is that the customer is placing the highest value on. That is your critical success factor. An organization can have multiple critical success factors, not just one. And how are you going to measure your performance beta? For that critical success factor becomes your key performance indicator. पढ़ना अच्छा चाहिए is a critical success factor, guys, for examination. How are you going to measure that critical success factor beta? Is maybe the number of hours that you're putting in effectively as such, guys, maybe the number of questions that you're solving, maybe the number of marks that you are scoring as such beta in the examination. All of these will become what? KPIs. Just say if an organization thinks better that customer service should be the priority, that is a critical success factor. Just say if you talk about organizations like better supermarkets, guys, unko ye important hai, what is the customer wait time as such better at the billing counter. If the customer wait time is higher as such better, then they will obviously work on reducing the customer wait time. Agar customer wait time zyada hai, the likelihood of the customer coming back as such better to that supermarket as such better will drastically reduce. Are you getting the point? So every organization is going to have a critical success factor. They're going to measure as such beta how that critical success factor should be evaluated, and that is key performance indicator. They've given us a detailed list of key performance indicators here, guys. Not relevant from a costing perspective, more relevant from a management perspective. इसलिए मैं बोला this is more related to strategic management, guys, than related to costing. ऐसे ही दे दिया बेटा अभी वो क्या करने वाले क्या नहीं करने वाले God alone knows. जैसे hotel industry में it says one of the key performance indicators is occupancy rate. Undoubtedly, guys, peak season occupancy of a hotel beta goes up to 90%. Off season, most of the hotels might be operating at an occupancy of 30 to 40%. Are we clear? That is our normal occupancy ratios as such, guys. Telecom industry, we all track average revenue per user. What is the amount of revenue beta that the company is generating? So ऐसे list दिया हुआ है बेटा, not that relevant, but जब भी free हो गए बेटा एक बार देख लेना. Are we clear? Long list of KPIs is given. Now we'll solve one or two questions, guys, on absolute cost unit or commercial cost units, and then we'll come back to the other part. पहले absolute और commercial समझ में आ गया सबको? So guys, you're discussing about service sector costing, that is operating costing. I told you about absolute cost unit and a commercial cost unit. What is the difference between absolute and commercial cost unit? Absolute beta is weighted average and commercial is simple average cost unit. Yes or no guys? Under absolute you will have to take weighted average tonnage and then multiply by the total number of total distance traveled. Under commercial as such beta you will take simple average and then multiply by the total distance traveled. After that guys और कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ा है ना? Now write down beta side heading. Transportation industry. Side heading beta transportation industry. There you. Transportation industry. Now, for a transportation industry as such, guys, you will have to present a detailed cost sheet by segregating all the expenses, guys, into fixed expenses, variable expenses, and semi-variable expenses. Anything related to maintenance will come under the category of semi-variable expenditure. जो भी maintenance related है बेटा, because the name of the third category is either semi-variable guys or maintenance. You can also call that as maintenance only. So that is why anything that is related to maintenance expenditure, you will put it under semi-variable. Other expenses, depending on whether they're variable, whether they're fixed, you will put them under either fixed charges or you'll put them under variable charges. Are we clear about this? Yes or no guys? लिखो बेटा ये. The cost statement of a transportation organization. The cost statement of a transportation organization. Cost statement of a transportation organization. Transportation organization should be segregated into first point, standing charges or fixed expenses. Standing charges or fixed expenses. Standing charges or fixed expenses. इसके examples बेटा. Insurance. Example for the first point, that is standing charges. Insurance. Garage rent. Garage rent. Garage or garage rent guys. Then license fee. License fees. License fees. Depreciation. Depreciation. License fees with a depreciation. Road tax. Road tax. Salaries if paid on monthly basis. Salaries if paid on monthly basis. Salaries if paid on monthly basis. If paid on monthly basis. Second point, variable expenses or running cost. Variable expenses or running cost. Variable expenses or running cost. Example, fuel. Wages if paid on the basis of number of trips. Wages if paid on the basis of number of trips. Wages if paid on the basis of number of trips. If paid on the basis of number of trips. Wages if paid on the basis of number of trips. Next. Depreciation if based on distance. Depreciation if based on distance. depreciation if based on distance. Are we clear, guys? Toll tax, toll tax. Toll tax. Third category, beta. Semi-variable or maintenance cost. Semi-variable or maintenance cost. Semi-variable or maintenance cost. Examples: repairs and maintenance, tires, spare parts. Repairs and maintenance, tires, spare parts. Repairs and maintenance, tires, spare parts. Spare parts. ठीक है? So वापस बोल रहा हूँ बेटा, there's nothing new. I already told you that the only different part here is computation of cost unit. Once you arrive at that proper cost unit as such, guys, all you have to do is divide your overall cost sheet into these three categories, sum up all of those expenses as such, guys, and divide by an appropriate cost unit. समझ में आ रहा है क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Yes or no, guys? Question number 3, बेटा. Third question. Coal is transported from two mines X and Y and unloaded at plots in a railway station. X is at a distance of 15 kilometers and Y is at a distance of 20 kilometers from the railhead plots. A fleet of lorries having a carrying capacity of 4 tons is being used to transport coal from the mines. So from the mines you will have to transport the coal to the railway stations, guys. The distance between the mine and the railway station is given. One is at a distance of 15 kilometers, the other one is at a distance of 20 kilometers. What is the carrying capacity of the lorry? 4 tons. That means unless otherwise given, guys, the load that will be there in every vehicle will be 4 tons. Records reveal that the average speed of lorries is 40 kilometers per hour when running, and it regularly takes about 15 minutes to unload at the railway head. At mine X, average loading time is 30 minutes per load, while at mine Y, average loading time is 25 minutes per load. They've given us loading time, they've given us unloading time, they've given us the distance and the speed of the lorry. So we can also compute, guys, how much will be the traveling time. The sum total of traveling time, loading time and unloading time will become the total time that will be needed per trip. In order to compute the total time per trip, beta, you will have to add your traveling time, loading time and unloading time. Additional information: drivers' wages, depreciation, insurance and taxes, etc. are 12 rupees per hour operated. Full stop. So one of the this is not about a detailed cost statement, guys. They're telling us that for every 1 hour of work, our effective cost incurred will be 12 rupees. Then fuel, oil, tires, repairs and maintenance, etc. will cost us about 1.6 per kilometer. So there's an expenditure that is based on total time. There's an expenditure that is based on distance. Correct, beta Abdullah? You are required to prepare a statement showing the cost per ton kilometer of carrying coal from each mine X and Y. The requirement is to compute cost per ton kilometer. Let's not forget the intent here as such, beta, is to ship coal as such from the mine to the railway station. Will the lorries return empty or will the lorries return with load? Obviously the lorries which are going to return empty. They will unload the entire coal, guys, at the railway station and then return back from the railway station empty. So when you're computing number of ton kilometers, it should only be based on one way. But distance traveled as such, guys, obviously would be based on two ways. So 3 variables that you need in this question. One is total distance traveled, because a part of the expenditure is based on per kilometer. One is what is the total time that will be needed per trip, because again a part of the expenditure is based on time. And finally total number of ton kilometers, because the ultimate requirement is to compute cost per ton kilometer. Are we clear, guys? So the first thing that we will compute beta is distance traveled. I already told you guys that you can either compute it for 10 trips, you can do it per trip, you can do it for 100 trips. Are we clear? So this is for X mine and this is for Y. That sounded incorrect, but X mine, huh? What is the distance one way, guys? Distance one way kitna hai languro? X. X is at a distance of 15 kilometers, beta. Y is at a distance of 20 kilometers. What will be your distance covered per trip, guys, now? Distance covered per trip, guys, will be two ways. So that will be 30 kilometers, guys, and 40 kilometers. Yes or no, kids? Uske baad mein, beta, you know that a part of the expenditure is based on time. So that is why, beta, total time per trip. Loading time, unloading time is already given, beta. What will be your traveling time? Speed of the lorries kitni hai? 40 kilometers per hour, guys. So if it is 40 kilometers in 60 minutes, guys, what will be the time that will be needed to cover a distance of 30 kilometers? In 60 minutes, the lorries are covering a distance of 40 kilometers. To cover a distance of 30 kilometers, beta, they will be needing a time of 45 minutes. दूसरे वाले case में, beta, obviously if it is 60 for 40 kilometers or 40 kilometers, it will be 60 minutes. Yes or no? What is the loading time, guys, at the mines? The loading time is different. 30 minutes and ye 30, ye 25 minutes, beta. And unloading time is same, guys. It doesn't matter whether it is from X mine or from Y. What will be the unloading time? 15 minutes. What will be your total time per trip, guys? This is 90 minutes and this is 100 minutes. Huh? 90 minutes मतलब 1 hour 30 minutes. 60 minutes make 1 hour. Smarty. उसका डाउट देखो बेटा, सर मेरे को भी 90 आया, बच्चों को 1 hour 30 minutes कहाँ से आया बोल के. अच्छा. So are we all clear about this? Now what will be the total number of ton kilometers, guys? I'll prefer writing like this for the onward journey, guys, because this is at a distance of 15 kilometers. You will write 15 kilometers multiplied by 4 tons. How much will that be? 60 ton kilometers, guys. Here it will be 20 kilometers, but multiplied by 4 tons. How much will that be? 80 ton kilometers. For the return journey as such, guys, here it will be 15 kilometers multiplied by 0 tons. Here also, but I'll write 20 kilometers multiplied by 0 tons. So the total number of ton kilometers, guys, would be 60 and 80 ton kilometers. Now all you have to do, beta, is write the total cost given. अपना cost, यहाँ पे cost statement बेटा presentation का कुछ नहीं है, because cost is already expressed on a consolidated basis. Yes or no? अभी बेटा ये first expenditure that we have, drivers, wages and everything, depreciation, insurance, taxes. क्या बोल रहा है बेटा question? How much is it? 12 rupees per hour. What was the total time that we needed for the first trip? 90 minutes. If it is 12 rupees as such, guys, for 60 minutes, how much will be the proportionate cost for 90 minutes? 18 rupees. दूसरे वाले में बेटा it is 12 rupees बेटा for 60 minutes. The total time that we needed for the second one was 100 minutes. How much will be the cost, guys, here? 20 rupees. ये हो गया drivers, wages, depreciation, insurance and taxes बेटा. What is the other expenditure that we have? Fuel, oil, tires, repairs बेटा. This expenditure, guys, is how much? 1.6 per kilometer. So what was the total distance that we have covered in the first case? Yes, beta Varsha, what's the distance that you've covered in the first case? 30 kilometers. In the second case, beta, 40 kilometers. How much will be this amount? 30 kilometers multiplied by 1.6. 48. 40 kilometers multiplied by 1.6, beta, 64. Total amount, guys? 66. And what will be the cost per ton kilometer? In the first case, guys, total number of ton kilometers are how much? 60. Second case में 66 divided by 60 बोला ना मैं, 60 ton kilometers. What will be the answer, guys? Rupees 1.1 per ton kilometer. Here beta 84 divided by 80 ton kilometers. How much will that be? 1.05 per ton kilometer. Are we clear? If they would have asked us, guys, which mine is more cheaper, what will be the answer, guys? हाँ बेटा, incorrect. X. क्या कर रहे हो यार? दोनों केस में you are carrying only 4 tons of coal. The first one is costing you 66 rupees. The second one is costing you 80. The intent is never to minimize cost per ton kilometer. Are we not carrying the same load? एक काम करो guys, instead of buying 1 ton guys here from Hyderabad, buy it from Kashmir. The cost per ton kilometer will be lesser. Overall cost बढ़ेगा, big deal, but cost per ton kilometer will be cheaper. No. Are you not carrying a load of 4 tons only in both the cases? The first one is costing us 66 rupees. The second one is costing us 84 rupees. Our cost per ton is more important as such, guys. Are we clear? Cost per ton kilometer is also important, guys, when they try to fix the price based on that. समझ में क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? Do not always compare cost per ton kilometer. Look at the requirement of the question, use your brain as such, guys, and then accordingly decide which variable should be compared. Any doubt in this part now? Let's copy, guys. 7th question, guys. Royal Transport Services runs fleet of buses within the limits of Jaipur city. The following are the details which were incurred by the company during October 2021. Each bus is costing us 24 lakhs. Garage rent is 1 lakh. एक आधा क्वेश्चन में आगे आएगा बेटा that you know the bus is operated for 25 days in a month, so it is put in a garage for 5 days. The student got out, that means should we pay rent only for those? If you, let's say guys, that you're living in a rented house, you shift as such better, you live in a rented house for a couple of days, but you were traveling as such, guys, you're coming home only on weekends as such, guys, Sunday. Will you tell the landlord there that I'm not staying in the house for 6 days, I'll pay rent only for Sunday? Okay, Kushali haan bol rahi, obviously. So garage rent beta is 1 lakh, road tax, insurance, manager's salary, there'll be 2 assistants required, 3 supervisors, 25 drivers. Number of गाड़ियाँ नीचे देता है देखो बेटा, 25 buses. All right. Control. 20 cleaners are required. Office staff salary is given. Consumables are given better. Repairs and maintenance. Other fixed expenses. Diesel is costing us 80 rupees per liter, and each liter will give us a mileage of 10 kilometers. Oil and lubricants are 1,45,000. Tires and tubes are 35,000. Depreciation is 10% per annum on cost. We have 12 buses with a capacity of 60 passengers, and we have 13 buses with a capacity of 50 passengers. Each bus makes 4 round trips a day, covering a distance of 10 kilometers in each trip, one way, on an average. One way distance as such, guys, is 10 kilometers. The bus is making how many trips in a day? 4 trips. So each bus would be traveling, guys, for a distance of 80 kilometers per day. 10 kilometers into 2 ways multiplied by 4 trips. During the trips, 80% of the seats are occupied. So on an average, guys, the occupancy ratio is 80%. The annual record shows that 5 buses are generally required to be kept away from roads nahi beta, roads. 5 buses, guys, are required to be kept away from roads each day for repairs. That means, guys, though you have 25 buses, on an average only 20 buses will be in operation daily, guys. And we know that the occupancy ratio, guys, is 80%. You are required to calculate the cost per passenger kilometer. Cost sheet is to be prepared on the basis of 25 buses. You will not present cost in respect of one bus. You will have to present cost for all the 25 buses. The main part here, guys, will be to compute total distance traveled and total passenger kilometers. एक बार वो हो गया बेटा, then the entire thing is just presenting the cost statement. All the list of expenses are already given. We just have to put it under the right head. So for computing, guys, total number of passenger kilometers and total amount of distance traveled, only the information given below the table, guys, is relevant. ऊपर का पूरा is irrelevant. ठीक है? Can you compute and tell me better? Because it is October as such, better take 31 days if that is a doubt. Did they give us number of operating days in a month? No, take 31 days as such, guys, and compute the answer. मूड आउट था. Stop writing and pay attention guys. 17,53,600 बोल रहे ना तुम लोग final. Pay attention guys. The total amount of distance covered in a month guys will be equal to, you know that each bus guys is covering a distance of 10 kilometers one way. They will be have to travel for 2 ways, and how many trips in a day beta? 4 trips in a day multiplied by 20 buses. Why 20 buses? 5 buses will be kept away from roads guys. When they are kept away from roads, they're sitting idle guys, they will not be traveling. So that multiplied by how many days beta? 31 days. What is the total distance covered? 49,000. This will be the total amount of distance covered in a month guys. Yes or no guys? Average number of passengers in a bus guys. Arey, 1 second. Or what I'll do beta is I'll cover passenger kilometers as such guys at 100% capacity. It's easier to understand this way. And for 100% buses. What if all the 25 buses as such guys were plying? And those buses guys were plying at 100% capacity. What will be the total number of passenger kilometers as such guys? Okay, I will first do it per day guys, and then we'll multiply by 31 days. Passenger kilometers guys per day. This is at 100% capacity for 100% buses. So as I told you beta, for 12 buses beta first. What are the passengers guys? 60 passengers. They will be covering as such guys 10 kilometers per way into how many ways? 2 ways into 4 trips. Number of buses already लिख चुका हूँ, वापस multiply मत करना बेटा. And those 13 buses guys multiplied by how many passengers? 50 passengers multiplied by 10 kilometers per way into 2 ways into 4 trips guys. How much will that be? दोनों का total कितना है? 109. This is passenger kilometers per day guys, if all the buses as such guys were operating, and they were operating at what percentage capacity? Now guys, passenger kilometers guys per day at 80% occupancy. Higher now guys. And for 80% buses, it will be equal to 1,09,600 into 80% occupancy into 80% buses. 70,144. Are we clear guys? क्या बात है? So 70,144 passenger kilometers per day is the right answer. Why did I take 80% buses? Better tell me. 20 buses out of 25 buses. Which 5 buses will be kept aside guys? We do not know. Obviously it will be on a rotation basis. Will you repair the same bus every day? No guys. So won't that be, हंस रहे क्या आप उसमें? Won't that be on a rotation basis guys? Obviously as such better. Sometimes there will be 60 passenger wale buses that will be kept under service guys. Sometimes it will be 50 passengers wale. So you'll have to directly write into 80% buses. When the capacities are different as such guys, you do not have to worry about which bus is going to be kept for repair. Simply multiply by average percentage. That will take care of the answer. Now what will be your total passenger kilometers in a month beta? Passenger kilometers guys in a month, we are going to write 70,144 multiplied by 31 days here beta. 21 lakh. This will be the total number of passenger kilometers in a month. Are we clear? The total distance traveled in a month is 49,600. The total number of passenger kilometers in a month are 21 lakhs 74,464. Any doubt in this? Now we just have to present the cost statement guys and divide by the total passenger kilometers. Any doubt in this? Start guys. Huh? You will have to divide the expenses guys into fixed, variable beta and semi-variable. क्या हुआ सिद्धेश, हो गया तेरा? The first category guys is fixed standing charges. Depreciation should be for all the 25 vehicles guys. Cost of each bus is how much? 24 lakhs. Did they give us the residual value? लाइफ 10% ऑन कहाँ दिया हुआ है रे, हाँ 10% ऑन कॉस्ट बेटा. So 24 lakhs multiplied by, this is per bus, into 10% into how many buses? 25 buses beta, into 1 by 12 months, into 1 by 12 करने के बाद depreciation beta would be 5 lakhs. Garage rent beta, will you put it under fixed expenses or will you put it under variable? Fixed expenses. Insurance fixed. Road tax, manager's salary, assistant salary, supervisor's salary, driver's salary, everything better under fixed. Office staff salary also. Consumables better, and repairs and maintenance under semi-variable. Even consumables. Other fixed expenses obviously under fixed. Road tax fixed. Road tax better is the amount of life tax that they pay for the vehicle. रियल लाइफ में कोई वो रोड टैक्स बोल के नहीं लिखता है, दे इंक्लूड इट विद द कॉस्ट ऑफ द व्हीकल ओनली. डीजल, ऑयल एंड लुब्रिकेंट्स बेटा, यू विल पुट इट अंडर वेरिएबल. टायर्स एंड ट्यूब्स यू विल पुट इट अंडर रिपेयर्स एंड मेंटेनेंस, सेमी वेरिएबल. फॉर द कंपनी, जब तक वो ईच बस नहीं बोला, इट इज ऑल एक्सपेंसेस फॉर द कंपनी बेटा. हाँ, एक गाड़ी का 12,000 रुपये इंश्योरेंस साल का. सस्ता है बहुत, ज़्यादा नहीं रहना. आइडिया नहीं है. 24 लाख की गाड़ी मतलब ऑन एन एवरेज इंश्योरेंस विल बी 40,000 पर ईयर, दैट टू पर्सनल व्हीकल. कमर्शियल व्हीकल डबल द अमाउंट. Yes kids. रोड टैक्स कितना है? 20,000. मैनेजर्स सैलरी इज 60,000. असिस्टेंट्स बेटा 32,000 multiplied by 2, 60, correct. Supervisors better 24,000 multiplied by 3, 72,000. Driver's salary 20,000 guys multiplied by 25 drivers, 5 lakhs. Cleaner's salary 5,000 multiplied by 20 cleaners, so that'll be 1 lakh. Office staff salary beta is 1 lakh. Other fixed expenses 70. Other fixed expenses 72,000. रणती हो गया बेटा तेरा? Add up all of these expenses guys and arrive at the total amount of fixed expenses. और कुछ है? पूरे हो गए ना ये? 16 lakhs 13,000 beta is the sum total of all the fixed expenses. Category beta is what? Variable. तू मेरे को भी ऐसे ही लगता, मैं अच्छे से ही बोलता हूँ बोल के. अपने आप से पूछना ही नहीं बेटा अपन कैसा बोलते बोल. 80 rupees बेटा इज फॉर हाउ मेनी किलोमीटर्स? 10 kilometers. टोटल अमाउंट इज 49,600 kilometers. Multiply 49,600 guys with 8 rupees. 96,000. 800 बेटा. And then guys, oil and lubricants are दोनों का total 5,41,000. Next guys, semi variable beta. You will have repairs and maintenance consumables. Consumables कितना है बेटा? 1 lakh. नहीं वहाँ पे लिखा है क्या? मैं ऑयल एंड कंज्यूमर्स बेटा इज डायरेक्टली व्हीकल यूसेज. तुम लोग गाड़ियाँ चलाते हो यार, तुम लोग ऐसा बोलते हो. हाँ देखो पुलिस पकड़ लेगी. यस गाइस, टायर्स एंड ट्यूब्स कितना है बेटा? ऑल पुट टुगेदर बेटा. Annual cost guys, A plus B plus C will be 23 lakhs. 23 lakhs 9. नहीं बेटा. So 23 lakhs 99,000 कितना बेटा? How much will be your cost per passenger kilometer? एक सेकेंड चलाना. Divided by कितना था बेटा वो? How much will this become? 1.1036 per passenger kilometer. और कुछ पूछा वो? What is the requirement guys? Only cost per passenger kilometers. Semi variable. 8th question guys. A minibus having a capacity of 32 passenger operates between two places A and B. The distance between these places is 30 kilometers guys. The bus makes 10 round trips in a day for 25 days in a month. So the distance is 30 kilometers guys, one way. So two ways it will be 60 kilometers. 10 trips in a day मतलब 600 kilometers in a day. बस travel कर रही है बेटा city में. On an average occupancy ratio is 70%. 32 passengers into 70% बेटा कितना होता है? You will take 22.4 only. You will not round it off to 22 or 23 passengers guys. It is possible that on one trip you may have 23 passengers, on one trip you may have 24, on one trip you may have 20, on one trip you may have 21. On an average better the ratio works out to be 70%. Do not round it off. Are we clear about this? And it is expected throughout the year. The details of expenses are as follows. There's few expenses given on a quarter basis, few expenses on a month basis, few expenses per annum. Okay. One new thing that we see here, better directly shift to the last paragraph. Passenger tax is at the rate of 22% on total taking that is to be levied. There's a difference between the word total taking and revenue guys. Total taking is the amount that you take. That is why the name is total taking. So the total taking guys includes the amount of indirect taxes. That is not our revenue guys. Here a question says that passenger tax is at the rate of 22% on total taking. Let's say that the company is collecting guys 100 rupees from the passenger. They will have to deposit a tax of 22 rupees out of that beta with the government. So their net revenue is only going to be 78 rupees. Are we clear? Usually taxes are not as a percentage of total taking. Taxes will be as a percentage of revenue guys. But यहाँ पे we cannot question the question. I repeat, passenger tax जो है, it should not be as a percentage of total collection. It should be as a percentage of what? Revenue. So the calculation will be simple guys. They will take the total revenue to be X rupees, total collection to be X rupees. That X rupees includes a passenger tax of 22%. That is 0.22x beta Srinivas. So the leftover amount, you know that no? So the leftover amount is 0.78x. The bus operator requires a profit of 25% on total taking. Profit is also as a percentage of total taking guys. So if you are collecting X rupees from the customer, 0.25x is your profit. 0.22x is the amount of passenger tax. Bacha kitna? This should become your net cost. 0.53x, but whatever cost that you are preparing will be equated to 0.53x, and that will give us better what is the amount of revenue total taking. Prepare operating cost statement on annual basis. The question is very clear that you will have to do it only for the entire year, and find out cost per passenger kilometer and one-way fare per passenger. This one-way fare per passenger, guys, will be total taking. How much amount are you supposed to collect from the passenger? We will do that, but समझ में आ गया total taking का मतलब? So total taking is what? The amount that we are collecting from the customer. This includes indirect taxes that we need to deposit with the government. So basically revenue plus indirect taxes should become your total taking. Write a note beta regarding that. Write a note, guys. Total taking is the amount collected from the customer is the amount collected from the customer. Amount collected from the customer. It includes indirect taxes. It includes indirect taxes. It includes indirect taxes which have to be deposited with the government. Which have to be deposited with the government. Which has to be deposited with the government. So revenue plus indirect taxes equals total taking. Revenue plus indirect taxes equals total taking. What if there is no indirect tax? Revenue itself beta is the amount of total taking. Revenue plus indirect tax beta will be equal to your total taking. Next line. If X is the total revenue, if X is the total revenue, X is the total taking, if X is the total taking, next line, passenger tax will be 0.22x, passenger tax will be 0.22x, passenger tax will be 0.22x, and profit will be 0.25x. Passenger tax beta will be 0.22x and profit will be 0.25x. So our net cost will be the net cost beta will be 0.53x. The net cost will be 0.53x. 0.53x. Now start beta. First, you will compute total distance traveled. Remember, you have to do it on an annual basis. So compute total distance traveled in a year. Compute total number of passenger kilometers in a year. वो question में दिया हुआ बेटा इसलिए. The question says present cost statement on an annual basis. Last requirement है. इसलिए you'll have to compute distance covered in a year and also passenger kilometers in a year. All of you start, guys. Compute total distance covered in a year. Kilometer. Guys, even if they do not use the word round trips as such, guys, a trip is a round trip only. Alright? The word round, guys, should not make any confusion there. How many days in a month better? 25 days. How many months? 12 months. Total कितना हो गया? 1,80,000 kilometers. Total passenger kilometers beta would be 1,80,000 kilometers multiplied by 32 passengers, guys, multiplied by how much? 70% occupancy. You'll get 40 lakhs, 32,000 passenger kilometers. So the total distance covered beta is 1,80,000. Total number of passenger kilometers beta are 40 lakhs, 32,000. Did you all get this answer, guys? Total cost 7 lakh. कितना वाला फराज? 7 lakh 25,800. उसको पहले डिवाइड बाय नंबर ऑफ पैसेंजर किलोमीटर्स करना, कॉस्ट पर पैसेंजर किलोमीटर के लिए. So your total cost में guys, first fixed cost guys or standing charges. Insurance beta is 15,600 per annum. Garage rent guys is 2,400 per quarter multiplied by 4 guys. That will be 9,600. Road tax is already given per annum guys. It is 5,000 rupees. Repairs, will put it under repairs and maintenance guys. Salary of operating staff कितना है? Tires and tubes, will put it under repairs and maintenance guys. Diesel under, oil and sundries also under variable guys. Depreciation is 68,000. What is the sum total of your fixed expenses guys? 1,84,600. Next guys is variable expenses or running charges. हो गया पूरा. Diesel guys, the question says it is 13 rupees per liter guys, and that liter will give us 5 kilometers mileage multiplied by, we have to cover a distance of 1,80,000 kilometers. कितना हो जाएगा बेटा ये? 4,60,000. Oil and sundries guys, question says it is 22 rupees beta for 100 kilometers. 22 rupees divided by 100 kilometers beta multiplied by 1,80,000 kilometers. How much will that be? 39,600. दोनों का total बेटा. Please check guys if you all got a variable cost of 5,07,600. Total fixed cost is 1,84,600 guys, and total variable cost is 5,07,600. Any doubt in that? पहले total cost divided by total passenger kilometers. आ गया ना? Once you get cost per passenger kilometer guys, you can divide that by 0.53 to get fare per passenger kilometer. And then you can multiply that by 30 kilometers to get one-way fare. How much is your semi-variable expenditure or variable maintenance cost better? Repairs are 4,800 per quarter guys, multiplied by 4 quarters, 19,200. Then tarvata beta tires and tubes are 3,600 per quarter multiplied by 4 quarters guys, 14,400. Then tarvata ante na total 33,000. What will be your annual cost guys now? 7,25,800. All of you please check guys if you got annual cost of 725,800. Once you get this beta, you will get cost per passenger kilometer. Cost per passenger kilometer will be 7,25,800 beta divided by 40,32,000 passenger kilometers. Point exact 0.18 guys, correct. 0.18 per passenger kilometer guys is your cost. Are you all clear about this? Moksh, I have an answer. You will still have to compute one-way fare per passenger guys. You can divide or you can compute fare per passenger kilometer, and once you get that fare per passenger kilometer, you can multiply that by 30 kilometers. Because each way is 30 kilometers, that will give you one-way fare per passenger. What's in the answer? $10.1 10.2. अच्छा The fare per passenger kilometer, guys, will be 0.18 divided by 53%. How do we know that, beta? We know cost is how much? 0.53x, and that is equal to 0.18 per passenger kilometer. So the fare as such, guys, per passenger kilometer will become 0.18 divided by 53%. 4-5 decimal points. 3396. So one way fare, beta, will become how much? One way fare, beta, per passenger. The passenger has to cover a distance of how many kilometers? 30 kilometers. Per passenger per kilometer, you should recover a cost of 0.33962. So this multiplied by 30 kilometers, beta. 10.188. So 10.19, guys, approximately. Fare per passenger. Approximate fare per passenger, guys. One way fare per passenger will be 10.19. The next few questions that we have, guys, are for the hotel industry. If you're all done with this, we'll start that. Shall we start, guys? Siddharth हो गया, आ गया पूरा cost per ton kilometer, freight per ton kilometer. Is everyone done with this? Rudraksh, हो गया बेटा. So the next set of questions, guys, are based on hotels. The unit of measurement, guys, is going to be number of room days, usually. Passenger per room, हाँ, guys. So usually, guys, it is going to be number of room days as such, better. It's possible that there can be different categories of rooms, and if there are different categories of rooms as such, guys, rather than segregating cost, you will compute equivalent number of cost units. Convert those cost units as such, guys, into a common category rather than dividing cost as such, better. So they might tell you, guys, that you have, a single room. There can be a double room as such, guys, or there can be a deluxe room, or there can be presidential suite, jo bhi hai. You just have to segregate them into common cost units. That is called as equivalent cost units. They use the word equivalent here also. Equivalent is the word that we use, guys, whenever you're converting something into a common category. That's it. There is no need for you to segregate the total expenses into variable and fixed for a hotel industry. You just sum up all the expenses as such, guys, and divide it by the total number of room days. That's it. That will tell you what is the amount of cost or what is the amount of free room rent as such, guys, that you're supposed to charge. Alright, guys. So it says a lodging home is being run in a small hill station with 100 single rooms. The home offers concessional rates during 6 off-season months in a year. During this period, half of the full room rent is charged. So during off-season, guys, they're charging only 50% of the rent that they're charging during the peak season. The management's profit margin is just targeted at 20% of the room rent. You will not be able to compute profit separately for off-season and separately for peak season or season as such, but you will have to do it on a consolidated basis. I've been telling this right from the beginning. Alag-alag mat karna. The following are the cost estimates and other details for the year ending on 31st of March 2017. Assume a month is to be of 30 days. Occupancy during the season is 80%, while during the off-season it is only 40%. Total investment in the home is 2 crore rupees, out of which 80% relates to building and the balance for furniture and equipment. This is given for the purpose of computing depreciation, beta Ayush. Samajh mein aa raha hai? Other expenses, beta, that we have is staff salaries, repairs to buildings, laundry charges, beta, interiors, miscellaneous expenses. Annual depreciation is to be provided for buildings at the rate of 5% and equipment on 15%. Room attendants are paid 10 rupees per room day on the basis of occupancy of the rooms in a month. Matlab you simply compute total number of room days, guys, multiplied by 10 rupees. That will become the total amount of charges, guys, for room attendants. Are we clear? Monthly lighting charges, bijli ka kharcha beta, is 120 rupees per room, except in 4 months in winter, when it is only 30 rupees per room. And this cost is on the basis of full occupancy for a month. If a room is occupied for the entire month, they're going to incur a cost of how much? 120 rupees, guys, during 8 months, and during winter 4 months, beta, it is going to be 30 rupees. Are we clear? समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? 120 rupees per room मतलब 4 rupees per day guys. 30 rupees per room मतलब 1 rupee per day. You can directly multiply like that. But the question here beta is, we know that for 6 months beta 80% of the rooms are occupied, and for the remaining 6 months 40% of the rooms are occupied. ये winter कौन से season में आ रहा है? हाँ, हिल स्टेशन विंटर इज सपोज टू बी सीजन गाइस. क्या कर रहे हो यार तुम लोग? बट ICI assumes it to be off season. In the examination question, they made it very clear in the question itself. Please assume winter to be a part of off season. They did not want any ambiguity there as such better. So exam में that sentence was added when the same question was given in the examination. Even you are going to add that sentence. Assume winter to be a part of off season. Question में ही लिख लेना वो. Assume winter to be a part of off season. Are you all clear about this guys? सबसे important part पूरा question का guys is only and only that 6th point. Lighting charges. बाकी पूरा question normal है. कुछ है ही नहीं बेटा पूरे question में. You just have to sum up everything and arrive at the answer. First let us write guys total number of room days occupied for the entire year as such beta, and then we will compute. Total number of room days guys. I will divide off season also into 2 parts just for clarity beta. It will be easier to calculate. समझ में आया नहीं आया guys? थर्टी डेज इन अ मंथ बोला ना वो. $100 rooms into 80% into 30 days into 6 months. 14,400. Off season beta we will divide into 2 parts. Winter and balance 2 months. Direct summer नको लिखो. So for these winter 4 months beta it will be 100 rooms into 40% occupancy into how many days? 30 days into 4 months. ये कितना है? 4,800. Balance 2 months के लिए बेटा 100 rooms into 40% occupancy. 20 rooms कर देते into 30 days into 2 months. ये अलग अलग क्यों लिख रहा हूँ? So that we can compute lighting charges separately guys. 2,400. I will need total number of room days in off season also for the purpose of deciding room rent. Room rent during season if it is X rupees guys, during off season it will be 0.5x. या फिर उल्टा लिखो, ऑफ सीजन अगर x लिए तो वो 2x चलेगा guys. Are we clear about this? Once you write this better, calculate the total amount of lighting charges and tell me. Rough में calculate करके बोलना what is the total amount of lighting charges better. During winter guys it says it is 30 rupees per room, but occupied for how many days? Occupied for 30 days. 30 rupees. That means guys it is 1 rupee per day. Yes or no? 1 rupee per room day. Balance 8 months beta question says it is 120 rupees per room. Occupied for how many days? 30 days. So how much will be per day beta? 4 rupees per day. 4 rupees per room day guys. Now you know what is to be done guys. ऊपर लिखा मैं those 4,800 will multiply by 1 beta, लेकिन remaining 14,400 and 2,400 you will multiply by 4. So winter के बेटा 4,800 room days you will multiply by 1 rupee. Balance 8 months guys. कितना है बेटा वो ऊपर 14,400 and another 2,400 room days. I will multiply by how much beta? 4 rupees. Put together 72,000. This will be the amount of lighting charges guys. In winter it is 1 rupee per room per day guys. In the other remaining 8 months it is 4 rupees. Let X be the rent per day beta. Rent per day during season. How many of you are done with the calculation? So off season beta rent will be how much? Rent per day beta will be 0.5x. Rent during season beta will be x. During off season 0.5x. Start presenting the cost statement and compute the value of x beta jaldi. Building beta will be 200 lakhs ka 80% cost, that is 160 lakhs. On that you're providing a depreciation of 5% guys. How much will that be? 8 lakhs guys. On the other items guys, furniture and equipment, which is 40 lakhs, we will have to provide for a depreciation of 15%. That will be 6 lakhs. Did you all get this? Room attendance ka jo charges hai beta, that is 10 rupees per room day. You can directly multiply that by 21,600 guys, multiplied by 10 rupees per room day. 2,16,000. Lighting charges already compute kar chuke beta. It is 72,000. So all of your expenses collectively guys will become how much? 29 lakhs 44,800. This will be your total cost guys. I have simply copied the entire amounts guys from the question itself. Depreciation we have calculated guys. Room attendance salaries beta is 10 rupees per day, and lighting charges we have computed it to be 72,000. Shresht ho gaya hai? Continue फिर. Add the amount of profit markup beta. Question says profit markup is 20% on rent, so you can add 25% on cost. Basically your cost as such beta should be 80% of the revenue, so you can divide it by 80%. How much is profit guys? 25% of 29 lakhs 44,800. 7,36,000. So your total collection beta or total revenue for the year guys should be equal to 36,81,000. This amount beta you're going to divide by the total number of equivalent room days. What will be your total collection in terms of X beta? Season में total number of room days कितने थे? 14,400 multiplied by X. Off season में तो 7,000 multiplied by 0.5x beta. So the total collection in terms of X would be 18,000x. This 18,000x beta you will be equating it to 36,81,000. You will get the value of X as how much? 204.5 guys. Therefore beta during off season guys, what will be the rent? Room rent guys is going to be 204.5 divided by 2 guys. That will be 102.25. During off season guys, the room rent is going to be 204.5 divided by 2, that is 102.25. Did you all get this answer? Sir, why did we take 25% on cost and not on rent? It is 20% on rent beta. गाइस तुम लोग 25% ऑन कॉस्ट की जगह वो कर दो, 2944,800 डिवाइडेड बाय 80% करो बेटा, you will get the answer. If profit is 20%, that means cost will be 80%. So that 29,44,800 you can divide by 80%. All of you guys compute the answer to the first bit. पहले उसका निकाल लो, जैसे वो परसों टेस्ट में आया था. लिख लो ना बेटा अलग, जब वो खुद ही दिया है. क्या जा रहा है तुम्हारा? मार खा ले. Number of room days as such, guys, would be 20 rooms into 80% into 30 days into how many months beta? 8 months. Next beta, 20 rooms multiplied by 50% occupancy multiplied by 30 days multiplied by how many months? 4 months. दोनों का total 5040 number of room days, guys. Now just add all the expenses beta. Fixed expenses, cost statement बना लेना guys properly. Salaries कितने हैं बेटा? Salaries are 15 lakhs. Next beta, repairs and maintenance 12,60,000. Next beta, depreciation 12,40,000. Other depreciation हो गया ना? हाँ, other fixed expenses guys 13,25,000. Total 53,25,000. Total भी लिख लेते थे बेटा, 53,25,000. These are your fixed expenses. तुम लोग variable detail में लिखे ना बेटा, write in detail. I'll write 500 multiplied by 5040. 25 lakhs 20. Guys, I have written variable expenditure directly on a totality basis. You please write individually better in the cost statement. All right, you just have to multiply each of those items, guys, with 5040. How much is your total cost in a year? 78,45,000. The question says, guys, that we would want to make a margin of 25% on total cost. So you will add profit beta 25% on total cost. कितना है? 1961,250. You will get revenue beta for the entire year. This beta will be equated to what? 5040x. Simple, guys. 5040x will be equated to 98,06,250. How much will be the value of x? 1945 point. This will be the amount of rent as such beta that we would have to recover beta on a per day basis. Are we clear about this? And do not answer the second bit as of now. Or if कितना बेटा occupancy ratio guys during the season? 51.73%. 59%. All right guys, right answer beta. 51%. So pay attention guys. Break even point as such beta will be equal to fixed cost divided by contribution per room day. Yes or no beta? Our total fixed cost is already given in the question as 53,25,000. Our contribution per room day will be 1945.68 minus 500. यहीं पे लिख रहा हूँ मैं क्योंकि मैं अलग से कंप्यूट नहीं किया. Are we clear guys? How much will this be बेटा? 3683 room days. 0.37 guys. I'll round it off to 3683 days. ठीक है? Out of this 3683 guys, off season का occupancy is already given beta. Occupancy given, and this occupancy as such beta is 20 rooms multiplied by what is the occupancy? 50% occupancy guys multiplied by 30 days into 4 months. कितने room days हो गए बेटा ये? 1200. So guys, during season as such beta balance कितने room days रहने चाहिए? The balance number of room days should be 2483. Ochinda ide 2483 guys. At 100% occupancy better. Number of room days would be 20 multiplied by 100% multiplied by 30 days multiplied by 8 months. 4800. Therefore beta occupancy ratio during normal season should be 2483 divided by 4800, 51.73%. This will be the occupancy beta during your normal season in order to break even. You got 2483 divided it by all right guys, all of you make a note of it beta. If you multiply 1200 with if total cost kitna li tu? You cannot take whoever got guys 59% guys, you're making the mistake of taking total cost as such, but at the occupancy levels given in the first bit. We are changing volume, total variable cost will change. You cannot take total variable cost guys at 80% occupancy level given in the first bit guys. Make a note of that if you think you'll make a mistake. Do not consider total cost as per requirement 1, as total cost will change with the change in volume. कैसे करते हो यार ऐसे mistakes? Question number 19 guys. ABC Hospital runs a critical care unit in a hired building. CCU consists of 35 beds and 5 more beds can be added if required. The rent per month is 75,000. There are 2 supervisors required who will be paid 25,000 per month each. There will be 4 nurses, 20,000 per month each. And then there will be 4 ward boys. Doctors will be paid 2,50,000 per month. Paid on the basis of number of patients attended and the time spent by them. Other expenses for the year are as follows. Repairs will be fixed, food to patient is variable, other services variable, laundry charges variable, medicines variable, other fixed expenses, admin expenses allocated. They've given us a long list of expenses guys. It was estimated that for 150 days in a year, 35 beds are occupied and for 80 days only 25 beds are occupied. When it comes to a hospital guys, obviously based on the information given here, the cost unit guys is going to be the number of bed days. Yes or no? The question says for 150 days, all the 35 beds are occupied. 150 multiplied by 35 guys. 5250 is for those 150 days. Next beta आगे क्या बोलता है? For another 80 days, how many beds are occupied? 25 beds are occupied. 2000. 5250 plus 2000 कितना हो गया? 7250. The hospital has hired 750 beds at a charge of 100 rupees per bed per day. The question says guys ऊपर that we already have 35 beds and if required we can hire additional 5 more beds. So just in case the capacity is such beta or the requirement is more than 35 beds, you're going to hire beds as such guys. All you have to do is include this 750 also in your computation of number of bed days. The 750 are already bed days. Please do not multiply 750 as such beta with anything. 750 divided by 5 agar karte beta, you will get 150. It may just happen that during those 150 days, the requirement was actually 40 beds. We used 35 of our own beds and we have hired 5 beds. Are we clear guys? But you will add 750. The only problem with the question beta is that they did not give us any data for the remaining 135 days. 150 days plus 80 days is 230 days. बाकी के 135 days का बेटा कुछ भी data नहीं है. We will have to assume guys that there are no patients only. Are we clear about this? We cannot question the information here guys. That is why you will directly take data only for those 230 days. Any doubt in this part? Next. This does not exceed more than 5 extra beds over and above the normal capacity of 35 beds. He's telling us that though we have hired 750 beds, it is well within the capacity of 5 beds per day. You're required to calculate the profit per patient day if the hospital recovers on an average 2000 rupees per day from each patient. Requirement is to compute profit per patient day. We will still compute total profit, and in the end we will divide it by the number of patient days or the number of bed days, guys. Number of bed days, number of patient days as such, guys, would be the same. Are we clear better? These are not hotels, double room better. Couple are staying well. Find out the break-even point for the hospital. Because the requirement is also to compute break-even point, guys. While presenting the first bit, we will divide the overall expenses into two categories, variable and fixed. वैसे बेटा for hospital they expect us to divide the overall expenses into variable and fixed, but they themselves will identify what is variable and what is fixed. Are we clear, guys? So जब तुम लोग first bit का answer करोगे, you're going to divide all the expenses into variable and fixed. Why do we need that? For computation of break-even point, you will take revenue per patient day minus variable cost per patient day. You will get contribution. Using that contribution beta and fixed cost, you will be able to compute break-even point. Any doubt in this part? Yes or no, guys? Start beta. वो एक note लिख लेना 19 for a hospital. Segregate expenses into variable and fixed. वो 80 days के लिए कितना है बेटा? और हायर्ड कितने हैं? 8,000 patient days बेटा. All the best, Ayush. Start segregating all the expenses, guys, into variable and fixed. तुम लोग जब इनकम स्टेटमेंट लिख रहे हो बेटा रेवेन्यू से शुरू कर रहे हो ना पूरा, ये एक्सपेंसेस लिख रहे हो पूरे? चलेगा, लास्ट में रेवेन्यू बोल के लिखना चलेगा. डॉक्टर सैलरी एज सच बेटा दे हैव गिवन अस नो, it is on the basis of number of patients attended, so that will be variable in nature. 2,50,000 is per month, so you'll have to multiply that by 12 months. Take total doctor salary as 30 lakhs. चेक कर रहा था ब्लाइंडली कॉपी करने के. तू रुक बेटा आज. Yes guys, how much is the sum total of all the variable? ये bed hire charges बेटा सबसे important. Variable में how many beds did we hire? 750 at the rate of 100 rupees, so that'll be 75,000. कितना हो गया? 56 lakhs. Your total variable expenditure beta is 56 lakhs 5,000. क्या अब्दुल्ला डाउट है कुछ? आता थोड़ा बहुत बोलना यार. हाँ हाँ, अपन यूजुअली वेरिएबल के बाद लिखते हैं, बट ठीक है. Are we all done with this? Fixed expenses में बेटा how much is the amount of rent guys? 75,000 per month multiplied by 12 months, 9 lakhs. Salaries बेटा payable to all of them. Supervisors guys, क्या सोच रहा है विकास? 25,000 guys into 2 into 12 months. How much will that be? 6 lakhs. Nurses बेटा 20,000 into 4 nurses into 12 months, 9,60,000. Ward boys better 2,40,000. 5,000 per month into 4 ward boys into 12 months. Correct better 2,40,000. And then guys, we have repairs given as fixed expenditure. Did you all get the amount of variable expenditure beta? Repairs के बाद में directly क्या है? Other fixed expenses and other fixed expenses 10,80,000 guys, and admin expenses beta are 10 lakhs. All put together beta fixed expenses कितना है? 48 lakh 60. Total cost कितना हो जाएगा? 1 crore 4 lakhs. Write the amount of revenue below that beta, and then write the amount of profit. Did you all get the amount of revenue? What is the total cost beta? 1 crore 4 lakhs 66,000. The amount of revenue guys would be 8,000 bed days multiplied by 2,000 rupees per bed day beta. 1 crore 60 lakhs. The amount of profit guys that the hospital is going to make beta is 53 lakhs 55 lakhs beta 34,000. This will be the amount of profit that the hospital is going to make. Are we all clear about this? The second question says beta compute the amount of break even point. We already have a list of all the fixed expenses guys. We already have how much is the amount of he asked profit per patient guys. So what you'll do beta is divide this by number of patient days. So 55 lakhs 34,000 beta divided by 8,000 patient days. How much is that? 691 point. This will be the amount of profit per patient day guys. All of you please arrive at the amount of break even point beta. Okay? Contribution per patient day. All the calculations will be in terms of patient days. Guys, so second bit my guys, we all know that the revenue per patient day is stop talking better. Revenue per patient day is 2,000 rupees. What will be the variable cost per patient day? What is the total variable cost beta that we got earlier? 56 lakhs 5,000. That you're going to divide by 8,000 patient days beta. कितना है? 700 exact. 700 मतलब हाँ sorry 0.625. So your contribution beta per patient day will become contribution per patient day beta will be 1,299.375. The total amount of fixed cost as such beta that we are incurring is 48 lakh 61,000. Your break even point in terms of number of patient days beta would be equal to, the formula is still the same, fixed cost divided by contribution per patient day, 48 lakh 61,000 divided by 1299.375. How much is that? 37441 patient days guys. We need to operate at 3,741 patient days of such guys in order to break even. Are we all clear about this? Jain, ho gaya beta? Did you all get the break even point, guys? There's one question beta next that's in relation to IT project. Wohi hai na? 20th wala. So for an IT project, guys, or ITES, Information Technology Enabled Services, we generally divide the expenses as such beta into three categories called as hardware and software cost. लिखने दो बच्चों को पहले. हो गया है? So guys, for an IT company, guys, what will be a majority of the expenditure? Salaries as such, guys. क्या बोला तो? No. They will develop software as such, guys, for which they will have to employ people as such better, and they will have to pay salary. So salary as such better is going to be a significant portion of their total cost, which here as such better is termed as, you can write it as salary only as such, guys, but the technical term that they've used is effort cost. This effort cost will include the salaries of all the people who are directly involved as such better in the development of the software, or it will also include salaries of all the support staff. There can be a training department as such better, there can be other support, maintenance team and everything. इसके अलावा guys, if there's any hardware as such guys that the organization is using as such better, depreciation of that will be included as hardware or software cost. And the third one better is travel/training expenditure. If it is an on-site work as such better, there will be frequent travel by the team as such guys to the client's place that will result in huge amount of travel expenditure. So that travel and training cost will come under the third category. Are we clear? It is for both IT and ITES. ITES is Information Technology Enabled Services. Using information technology to render services with ITES. Developing software itself will be your IT services. Are we clear about this? देखो next question अभी. Following are the data pertaining to Infotech Private Limited for the year 2019-20. Salary to software engineers 5 persons is 15 lakhs. Salary to project leaders 2 persons is 9 lakhs. Salary to project manager beta is 6 lakhs. Repairs and maintenance is 3 lakh rupees. Admin overheads are 12 lakhs. The company executes a project XYZ. The details of the same are as follows. जो भी ऊपर details दिया हुआ था बेटा, is that for a specific project or is that for the entire organization? We will use that entire organization's data in order to arrive at the cost sheet of a specific project. The company executes a project XYZ. The details of the same are as follows. This project is going to have a duration of 6 months. There will be 1 project leader and 3 software engineers involved for the entire duration of the project. So we can allocate salaries as such guys proportionately of that project leader and 3 software engineers. Project manager will spend 2 months efforts during the execution of the project. So project manager 6 months का खर्चा नहीं आएगा. You will have only for 2 months. Yes. Travel expenses incurred for the project as such beta is 1,87,500. There were 2 laptops purchased at a cost of 50,000 each for use in the project, and the life of the same is estimated to be 2 years. This as such beta will come as a part of your depreciation, that is hardware and software related costs. You will have to proportionately take depreciation for a period of 6 months. The laptops have a useful life of 2 years. Prepare project cost sheet. Rough में calculate करके बोलो बेटा, what do you think will be the total amount? It's a very simple question बेटा. The chance of this coming in the examination is less. इतना easy नहीं देते. guys. Did you include a share of common expenses? Which common expenses? Repairs and maintenance and admin overheads. On what basis are we allocating it? How 6 months? That is for the entire year, so 6 months. That means company at any given point of time should be executing only one project. The project manager who's involved only for 2 months on this project is not better. Out of 6 months, for 4 months he must be on a vacation. Kaun bola beta that at any given point of time there should only be, if there's only one project as such guys, we have 2 project leaders, only one is working on this project. बाकी का time क्या कर रहा है वो जो दूसरा project manager free है दोनों बैठ के डांडिया खेल रहे होंगे ना. Out of this 5 software engineers, 3 are working on this better. You will have to allocate these expenses as a percentage of salaries. That was the most important part of the question guys. Effort cost includes salaries guys and also includes a share of common overheads. Are you all understanding this guys? Likho beta, सबसे important. Mark कर लेना important. Repairs and maintenance in that. थोड़े लोग तो लिए ही नहीं होंगे ना वो जो 9 लाख 10 लाख में खेल रहे उनको लगा वो रिपेयर वाला अपना थोड़ी काम है देखे जाएगा कोई. Yes guys. As salary is a significant component, as salary is a significant component, as salary is a significant component, all common overheads will be absorbed, all common overheads will be absorbed, all common overheads will be absorbed on the basis of salaries, on the basis of salaries, on the basis of salaries. Common overheads for the year beta equals, common overheads for the year equals repairs and maintenance का 3 lakhs plus admin overheads beta 12 lakhs. So that'll be 3 lakhs plus 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs. What's the total salaries for the year? Total salaries for the year beta would be 15 lakhs plus 9 lakhs plus 6 lakhs, 30 lakhs. Our overhead absorption rate guys should be, overhead absorption rate will be 15 lakhs upon 30 lakhs. That will be 0.50%. मार खाएंगा तो 50% beta will be, Janasri says 26 lakhs. Are we all clear about this guys? What was the other thing beta? What is the salary per person? लिख लिए वो भी चाहिए ना अपन को. Salary per person guys. Software engineer की salary कितनी है? Software engineer beta, we are paying 15 lakhs for 5 persons guys, so that'll be 3 lakhs per person beta. Project leader, project lead guys, you're paying 9 lakh rupees for 2 persons guys, so that'll be 4 lakh 50,000 per person. And then project manager beta 6 lakhs only, एक ही बंदा है. We're just writing salary per person guys so that we can use that in the cost statement. Are we all clear about this guys? Now cost statement better. Let's write salaries guys or effort cost, whatever you want to write. नहीं वो लोग खुद नहीं लिखते बेटा. In theory they've mentioned that it is effort cost, but then they do not write it. Salaries guys, क्या क्या है? How many project leaders guys? So project leader beta, we need 1 person. The total salary that we have to pay him beta is for 12 months 4.5 lakhs. So for 6 months beta that will be 2 lakh 25,000. This will be the salary that will be payable to the project leader. Next, beta, software engineers. For software engineers, guys, it will be 3 lakh per person for 12 months, beta, into 6 months. Into kitne bande, beta? Into 3 persons. So what will be the amount? 4,50,000, guys. After that, beta, next is project manager. This project manager ko, beta, we have to pay an amount of 6 lakh rupees for how many months? 12 months. But he's allocating a time of only 2 months here. So that will be how much? 1 lakh. Total salary effort cost kitna yahan tak? 7 lakh. इसमें I am adding share of common overheads. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? The share of common overheads, beta, should be 50% of salaries, guys. And that 50% of salaries, beta, will be 387,500. यहाँ तक का टोटल कितना हो गया? 1162,500, guys. Then, beta, as far as hardware and software related costs are concerned, guys, hardware cost, what will be the depreciation of laptops? Depreciation of laptops, beta, will be, how many laptops did we buy? 50,000, guys, into 2 laptops divided by 2 years, but we'll have to take proportionately only for how many months? 6 months. So depreciation per annum, beta, would be 50,000 rupees. For 6 months, depreciation will become 25,000. और कुछ है? इतना ही है ना depreciation में. Next, guys, travel and training में direct travel expenses are given, guys. How much is that? Travel expenses 1,87,500. All put together 13 lakhs. Total cost of this project, beta, will become 13,75,000. The total cost of the project, beta, is 13,75,000. Did you all get this? Highway operate karne ka, toll roads, beta. Isn't that also service industry only? The person who's operating the road as such, guys, is constructing. Abhi jaise beta highway construction and all of that, guys, work on public-private partnership, guys. The most common type of transaction, guys, will be BOT, which is build, operate and transfer. The contract will be given to a specific party as such, guys, and that party as such, beta, will be responsible to undertake the construction of the entire project. Obviously, he is incurring expenditure out of his own pocket. Against that, he receives a right, guys, to operate the project for a specified period of time. And then at the end of that project period as such, beta, the ownership of the asset, matlab the right to operate the asset, will get transferred to the government. The contract can be given for a period of 25 years. The contract can be given for a period of 30 years, depending on the expected revenue realizations as such, beta, from that specific project. If the revenue realizations are less as such, beta, then the period will be longer. And if there are no revenue realizations, obviously, guys, there's no build, operate, transfer. You directly give the contract to someone else, they construct it, you immediately pay them upfront. Are we clear? So BOT contracts as such, guys, are those for public-private partnerships. Are we all clear? You just divide the cost into 2 categories, beta, called as capital cost. That is the cost of constructing the entire project. And then, beta, there will be operating and maintenance cost. Usually capital cost will be directly given in the question. We will only have to take depreciation of that capital cost. You will not include the entire capital cost in your cost statement. You will have to include your operating and maintenance cost. Using an estimate of the overall cost and the expected number of vehicles that are going to use the road, we will have to compute how much will be the toll that needs to be collected. I repeat, using estimated number of vehicles and the amount of expenditure, beta, that the company is going to incur in maintenance of the road, we will have to compute the amount of toll that needs to be collected. Yes, if you're using ORR as such, beta, they levy a certain amount of toll. Won't they have that calculation in mind as to how should they be recovering the entire cost? वही है बेटा, समझ में आया नहीं आया? लिखो guys. Question number 23, guys. XYZ Highway Toll Plaza Limited operates a toll plaza, guys, on a 100 kilometers highway and collects tolls from vehicles passing through the plaza. The company has estimated that every year a total of 60 lakh vehicles, every year beta, 60 lakh vehicles, 60% will be passenger vehicles, 15% will be heavy commercial vehicles, and the remaining will be buses. Will be using the highway during the 15 years toll collection tenure. We have the right to operate the road as beta for a period of 15 years. The number of vehicles are given, that is per year. Salaries are given, guys. ठीक है, सेम इंफॉर्मेशन जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन में एक सेंटेंस में दिया था बेटा, यहाँ पे लंबा चौड़ा भाषण और कुछ नहीं है. Other annual cost: electricity, telephone and communication cost, guys, maintenance cost, depreciation and amortization, insurance and safety cost, interest expenditure incurred for servicing term loans. The toll rate per vehicle is to be fixed as under. Heavy commercial vehicles beta should be 500% of the toll rate that you are fixing for passenger vehicles. So if you collect X from a passenger vehicle, guys, you will have to collect 5x from a heavy commercial vehicle and you will collect 4x from a bus. You are required to calculate the total cost per month. Underline the word per month beta. ऊपर पूरा भाषण में क्या दिया वो? Annual, guys. Now he is asking us to compute cost per month. नीचे दिया हुआ बेटा, assume 360 days in a year. So एक महीने में कितने दिन रहेंगे बेटा नुपुर? 30 days beta. You do not have to look at your fingers and then check 30 or 31. क्वेश्चन में भी दिया ऊपर. कौन से क्वेश्चन में? The company aims to achieve a 20% profit margin, guys, over total takings. Calculate the toll rate to be charged. ठीक है, exactly similar to previous question. तो पूरे एनुअल कॉस्ट से याद रखना बेटा, अपन को पर मंथ करना है, ठीक है. Capital cost में depreciation लिखोगे, guys. If you do not want that, you can directly club under annual cost statement only. Do not write any side heading. Simply keep writing all the expenses. Even that is fine. Depreciation, guys, and amortization कितना बेटा per for the entire year? वो 12 crores है ना? 12 crores divided by 12 months beta, you will take 1 crore rupees. Your operating and maintenance cost beta. You will start with salaries, guys. कितना है बेटा ये? 7 lakh. ఇది అనిల 16. దాని తర్వాత సెక్యూరిటీ పర్సనల్ 500 into 3 into 10 into 30 days. Manager beta 2000 into 2 into 1 into 30 days. 1 lakh. These are all your salaries, guys. Add all the other expenses. Electricity ये पूरे annual cost है, याद रखना बेटा. 14,40,000 divided by 1,20,000. Telephone. Maintenance. $60 lakhs beta divided by 12 months, 5 lakhs. Next, insurance and safety cost. Interest 7 crore 83 lakh 48,000 divided by 12 months. All put together better. Exact. Total cost for the year including depreciation beta is 1 crore 88 lakhs. This is the answer to the first bit, guys. Now compute the answer to the second bit beta using the information given. They've given us the amount of profit markup, guys. They've given us how many vehicles are being used. Okay. Guys, the profit markup given in the question, guys, is not 20% on cost, it is 20% on takings. That is 20% on revenue, guys. So your cost is going to be, or cost is going to be 80%, guys, of the amount of revenue is what I meant. So whatever is your total cost, you can divide by 80% to get the amount of total taking or total collection. तुम लोग plus 20% कर दिया directly. कुछ करे ही नहीं. That's the spirit, guys. ऐसे sir. Second bit, guys, profit is 20% beta of collections taking. Therefore, cost beta would be 80%, guys, of collection. If cost is 80% of collection as such, guys, you're going to write revenue beta as 1 crore 88 lakhs divided by 80%. How much will that become, beta? 2 crore 35 lakhs. The number of vehicles per month, beta, would be, number of vehicles, guys, per month will be 60 lakhs divided by 12 months, beta. That will be how many vehicles? 5 lakh vehicles. This 5 lakh vehicles, guys, we're going to divide into 3 categories as such, beta. What the 3 categories that we have? Passenger vehicles and, एक second. Passenger vehicles, heavy commercial vehicles, guys, and buses. The number of vehicles, guys, passenger vehicles would be 60%, guys, of 5 lakhs. That will be how many vehicles? 3 lakhs. This is 15% beta, so that will be correct, kids. And this is 25% beta, and that is 1 lakh 25,000. These are the number of vehicles, guys. Let the toll per vehicle, guys, for a passenger vehicle be X. So this will become 5X. This will become 4X. Our total toll, guys, in a month beta will become 3 lakh X. 75,000 into 5X will become 3 lakh 75,000 X, and 1 lakh 25,000 into 4X beta will become 6 lakh X. All put together 12 lakh 75,000 X. This 12 lakh 75,000 beta you will be equating. ये 5 lakh से beta, sorry, 11 lakh 75. So this 11 lakh 75,000 X, guys, you will be equating to 2 crores 35 lakhs, and you will get X as how much? So X is 20 beta. That means the toll that you will be collecting from a passenger vehicle is 20 rupees as such beta. From a heavy commercial vehicle it will become 100 rupees, and from a क्या beta? Bus it will become 80 rupees. Please stop talking, guys. Finish off the answer. Alright, beta. पहले vehicle loan, guys. Vehicle loan में beta, how much is the amount of direct cost? Salary. Direct labor cost, beta. How many employees? 4 employees. Each of them are being paid a salary of how much? 50,000. So the total amount of direct labor cost beta will be 2 lakhs. Overheads beta, सब overheads का total करे क्या? 90,000 plus. Branch manager salary is also overhead only, guys, because he's looking after all the activities. 90,000 plus 30,000 plus 12,000 plus 18,000. All of these are the total overheads. इसका how much will be allocated to vehicle loan? कौन सा 10,000? Very good, beta. Others 10,000. Add all of them and multiply by 30%. How much will that be? 48,000. So put together, beta, this will become 2,48,000. How much are the number of vehicle loan applications? Number of vehicle loan applications are 496. What will be the cost per application? ऐसे आना आंसर. हाँ. Cost per application beta is 500. Vehicle loan application. In the second bit is telling us beta that keep the cost per application constant and compute number of education loan applications. Total cost beta there will be 70,000 multiplied by 2, 1,40,000 plus 48, 1,68,000. 1,68,000 beta divided by 1 lakh. ठीक है ना, मैं क्या करूँ? आंसर कितना है? 376. वही कर रहे हैं हम लोग भी. इनडायरेक्ट है ही नहीं, डायरेक्टली वही करना है बेटा. 1,88,000 by 500. वो 168 गलती से बोला मैं. People were quick to point out and tell me that I was wrong. क्या श्लोक? Good, I'm wrong only about this number beta. You are wrong about this also. बेटा मैं देख लेता हूँ. ले शुरू कर. Guys, all of you beta arrive at the number of home loan education loan applications. किस में बेटा? तो ऐसे बीच में सर हाँ जाता कुछ भी कर, मेरे को आइडिया नहीं है. आप बोल के नहीं बोलना, मेरे को आइडिया नहीं है. Yes guys, education loan guys. How much is the amount of direct employee cost, professional labor cost? 1,40,000. The 2 employees who are being paid a salary of how much beta? 70,000. How much will be the amount of overheads? Even for them beta, the amount of overheads will only be 30% of 1,60,000 beta. That is 40. Total cost कितना हो जाएगा? 1,88,000. What will be the cost per application? Cost per application guys is 500. So 500 is equal to 1,88,000 divided by number of applications. Directly beta the answer is 376. Easy.